Hello, I'm Liz Findlay, and I'm going to talk about the ethics of sending healing to another person. So when you want to send any kind of healing or supportive energy to somebody else where they haven't actually booked in with you for a session, so maybe you're not even a practitioner, but you just care about this person and perhaps what they're going through, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, even spiritual. And it is always very important to check in with the other person, either verbally or with a message, or with their higher selves, to see if you have permission to send this energy. Because we need to just understand that sometimes, even though we mean well and we're trying to be helpful and supportive, the energy might not be wanted on whatever level. The energy might not be something that they resonate with. And perhaps that energy in some way or form just doesn't gel well with their energy fields. So I want to give you a few examples of this. So I have a Christian friend who cares about me dearly and she's very supportive. However, her form of prayer includes calling on the blood of Christ to cover the person that she is praying about. Now that seems to work very well for her, and I honor and respect that. However, every time that she is called on that type of energy to be sent to me, it really disrupts my energy fields. It doesn't feel very nice for me, and I end up spending quite a lot of time and energy removing it and then bringing any kind of healing and stabilizing to my energy fields. And so I needed to have a little word with her to say, you know, I honor and respect whatever works for you. And I just ask that when you want to send any kind of well wishes, it stays with well wishes, and please do not send me energy that doesn't resonate with me. And she respects this. So that's great that we're on the same page. But I'm drawing your attention to this because she always meant well. She always meant to be supportive in those moments that she did call on this energy and send it to me. She didn't mean to disrupt my energy fields in any way or form. However, she didn't ask me permission. She didn't ask my higher self permission. And so this is where ethics come in. Now, pretty much on a daily basis, I call on energy within my home, and I live in a block of flats. So I call on certain energies within the whole building, but I always stipulate that it is called in only where I have permission from the higher selves of all those involved. So I'm very much aware, and I can see in my mind's eye that there are gaps within the building where I call this energy in. So one of them, for example, is crystalline energy from the Earth's crystal core, and that is to ground the energies in the building. And the other energy I call in is gold light from the great central sun down into the building, specifically my home, to cleanse, clear, and raise the vibration of the structure. Now, it is very important each time I call this in that I do stipulate only where I have the permission of the higher selves of all those involved. And why I say all those involved is because you can imagine with a building like this, we've got a landlord or landlords of the entire building. Perhaps each individual flat might have a different landlord wherever you live. And there are also the occupants, perhaps the owners of each individual flat. And you don't want to be calling on energy within their home that they don't want there. I personally wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want somebody else in the building calling in any energy into my home. And so that does need to be respected on a quantum level. So with that in mind, if you have anybody who is close to you in your life that you want to help and support, you can take a moment, if you're close enough with them and they open to this, you can verbally ask them. If you may call on energies for them, send them energy, maybe call on some angels, send them reiki if you do reiki, that sort of a thing. If they're not that way inclined, have a conversation with their higher selves. You can call them in like an energetic version of them to come in front of you. where you have a conversation and you ask that permission. And you must get a clear yes before you proceed with anything like that. So I just want to touch also on these incredible healing circles where people dedicate their time and energy to offer up healing to those in need. And you are able to put your name on their list, or perhaps a family or friend's name on the list. And I just encourage you that before you put anybody else's name on a list where a group of people will send healing, take a moment to either verbally check in with them or tune into their higher selves. Because, and look, it's whatever resonates with you, but for me personally, I wouldn't just put somebody's name on a list where they're receiving healing from a group without having checked in, because I do believe, I certainly feel that there is some ethics involved there. And there are certain groups out there, however well they mean, I personally don't want them sending energy towards me. Even if they believe it is healing, I want to work with my own energy. I want to choose who works on my energy, with my energy, and who has access to it. And so keep that in mind as well. It doesn't mean that you don't help these people in your life. It's just taking that extra step to make sure that their higher selves really and truly resonate with and will benefit from the energy that is sent. So let's also touch on when you are trained in healing, perhaps it's Reiki or something similar where you can send energy through your hands, and you would like to help somebody who's close to you, family or friend. Now, I was taught on my Reiki Master Teacher course that if you send healing to somebody who doesn't want it, it could bounce back to you. Now, I personally have not experienced this, but there are ways that you can deal with this if it happens to you, in that, firstly, check in with their higher selves if they actually want the energy. But if you do receive this bounce back, you need to ground the energy. And usually that is in the form of, you can do like a zigzag, like a lightning bolt with your hands to the floor. Now, the reason why I mention this is because I actually had an incredible learning experience where I had somebody close to me verbally say yes, they would like to have some energy healing from me. But when I placed my hands under their head, nothing was flowing through my hands. Now, I have instant activation of energy. My hands always heat up. I feel tingling. The other person always feels a lot of heat. But on this occasion, there was nothing. So for me personally, I began to realize that if somebody really doesn't want the energy that I am sending, even if they've verbally said yes out of whatever, who knows why they would say yes and they actually mean no. In some way or form, they feel like they have to say yes. But honestly, with me, there's no pressure ever. I know that my personal experience is that my higher selves will in a way shut off the energy flow and nothing will happen. And so keep this in mind, that people may well verbally say yes and they don't actually mean it. So the two things to look out for then is you might not feel anything through your hands, or you might get that jolt of energy back, because essentially what is happening is that anything that you send that is not wanted will loop back and could come to you. If it is not shut off from your hands or source or wherever it is. And so it is important then to know what to do with that. And so like I say, you can direct that energy down to the ground to earth it, a bit like lightning. And if you are Reiki trained, you might want to draw some symbols into wherever you feel it. It might be a kickback into a specific chakra of yours, perhaps a solar plexus. And so what you could try, and again, look, I've never experienced this, but you could try and see what works for you, in that you might want to draw the power symbol, the harmony symbol, and then again, the power symbol. Like I say with me, if somebody doesn't want it, my higher selves shut it off and nothing flows from my hands. So I hope that this has helped you and that you may consider the ethics involved of where you do want to show up and be helpful for the people close to you in your life. And there are ways of doing it. So if you have found this video helpful, it would be really lovely if you could like and comment below, and do subscribe to my channel. The more subscribers I get, the more I'm actually encouraged to do more of these videos, and it helps my YouTube channel in general to reach more people. So wishing you a beautiful day, and thank you for tuning into this video. Bye.